What's going on, Geekdom? This is Chipmunk. Today I am doing a review over the movie 28 Years Later. For this, there's going to be light spoilers. I'm going to try to make this quick. Not try to make it that long of a review. 28 Years Later is a sequel to the other, like, 28 Days, 28 Weeks Later films. It follows a young man named Spike. He is becoming a hunter, I guess. He's one of the youngest ones to go out, as far as just being trained as a hunter to actually hunt some of the infected. I think he's like 14 or 12 or something. I can't remember exactly what the age was, but he was pretty young to go out and be hunting. And so he goes out hunting with his dad. He has a bad experience when it comes to it, especially just being new to everything. And he learns about the a doctor. He tries to take his mom to the doctor because his mother's sick. He wants to find some way to help her, to make her feel better. And they journey out of their secluded, little town and stuff that they have, and they go out and to the mainland, and yeah, they have this adventure. The movie is not like horrible. It is like a mixture of, like, critics loved it, audiences not too much. I think I would lean more into myself like either a very low 80%, if I would say, when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, probably low 80 or a very high 70. Because I was like, it's not a bad movie. It's a lot of things that I didn't like about it, but it's not a bad movie. I like the dramatic portions of it, as far as just the portions of death, and that's like a major thing that it tries to talk about. The acceptance of death and everything and what's going on. I didn't too much mind the infected mutating, as far as just stuff goes. There's a lot of stuff about that mutation that I didn't like, but or I had questions with, but it did change up the infected a lot, and what they do, how they act, especially being out and about. So when it came to 28 Days Later, mostly what I liked about it was just the dramatic portions of Spike, and what he was trying to go through, learning experiences and stuff like that when it comes to death, and the visuals. I really do love the visuals, how they played off the editing. They still tried to go with some of the editing that 28 Days Later is mostly known for, but they went into some of their own editing styles and stuff. I like the audio of how they played off certain things. So those aspects I did like a lot. I wasn't really, as far as just things I didn't like, I wasn't really hooked as far as just the story goes completely. The only thing I mostly did like was the portions of death and what Spike was learning. But as far as just like nitpicking on some things and aspects of what they were doing, how things were going about when it came to the story, I didn't too much care for. I don't mind the infected, changing up. One thing, as far as just like spoilers go, the infected are now eating, so they're not starving to death like they were before. Previously, if you get infected, your rage just has you rage out. You don't eat anything. So the infected would starve to death because they're not eating, they're just raging and trying to beat up and hurt people. Or anything that they see, apparently. So I was like, I didn't mind that change. So that would explain how they're able to still function, go about. And then you have this new infected, this called like the alphas. Yeah, they were Very terrifying. I like the idea of the alphas. The controlling of other infected, I was like, I don't know. I don't know about it, but I do like the fact that there is stronger, bigger, and harder to take on infected. Another thing that I thought was weird was the more like I don't know what the freak they called it. I forgot what they called them, but they were like the gluttonous infected. They were like huge and fat, and they would crawl on the ground. I was like, I don't know what that one's about, but yeah, that one was definitely pretty interesting. But that was a switch I was like, I don't typically mind, but it's just, it definitely is very strange. I would like to know how this change up happened when it comes to all these infected, but you know, we are going to get a deep dive into that portion. Um, Another thing is like the doctor. I didn't too much understand his. I don't know. It's just the doctor is like it's some stuff I wish they would explain a lot more when it came to him. But I know he just served like a purpose for the story for the young man, Spike. But I don't know. It's like the stuff that happened at the near the end of the movie. I was like, I wonder why it didn't happen like before or earlier, or he didn't run into some of these issues a long time ago. Um, it just so happens he runs into these issues now that he meets Spike and his mom, and it's like, uh, I don't know, but yeah, and the fact that there's still people that's there living on the island and stuff, and none of the people from the town met up and talked, and because they were trying to keep away from some of the people because they thought they were crazy, stuff like that. Definitely understandable, but um, yeah, you think, I don't know. It's a lot that I was like I want explained. Well, we're not gonna get into like the next movie, I guess, because at the end it seems like they're gonna make another movie. If you saw the ending, it definitely feels like there's another movie coming out. Or gonna be coming out. Yeah. But I'll try not to spoil too much when it comes to stuff that's all like it's light spoilers. But it was a lot of stuff that I just questioned when it came to everything. But it was definitely okay of a movie. It wasn't like the best thing ever. Um, it didn't really change up anything when it came to horror or make anything just crazy like new. Um, but yeah, another thing that I didn't like was the lack of danger. The second time, well, when Spike had went out with his mom, I would have thought there would have been way more danger, especially him handling it would have been very much poorer because he had a bad experience the first time around. I don't think he would have shook it that easily, but you know, it is to be able to survive. Another light spoiler: he survives 28 days out in the wilderness with just arrows that he already had, which is crazy to me. Uh, I was like, I don't know how he would survive that by himself, but definitely would have thought he would have ran into more issues. But yeah, it just wasn't um, groundbreaking as much as I would have liked it to be. But it was definitely all right as a movie goes. Definitely enough entertainment to watch. There were some funny moments in it. It was all right, but it wasn't like the greatest thing ever. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. If y'all seen the movie, how y'all felt about it. If y'all really loved it, if y'all really hated it, definitely don't mind hearing people's thought processes on it when it comes to the movie. But yeah, was it one of my top horror films? No. I don't think we'll outbeat a few horror films that comes out this year, but I think it was still more decent than a couple of other horror films that already had came out. that have watched. So, yeah. But if you like this video, please put a like on the video. If you like, subscribe to see some more my reviews and other reactions and stuff. Please do. Thank you all so much for jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and others. Peace, geekdom.